and that by using a British BSA.
And you've always preferred the Harleys to the British bikes?
Oh yeah, on the road, yeah, I'd prefer a Harley any time. I mean, I've had all sorts of bikes, as you know, as my interviewer.
Yes, I've done all the research.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what have you got now?
I've got that WLA, that red one I was just showing you, with a sidecar on. But that's going over to Dave.
Dave's the oldest son?
David is the oldest son, yeah.
And we've got to make sure
he's as old as the club.
You've got to make sure. So that's what happened on the early club nights. Got to make sure that he actually gets out there and rides it. Of course, he spent a lot of years, later years, in the vintage club here. So
yeah,
there's a lot of Harleys and old blokes and what have you in there. So the tradition of slagging off different makes and marks and
it's on all the time. It's on all the time. Yeah. Calling each other names. It's all good fun. All part of motorcycling.
Yeah.
Or club life, anyway.
And you've just bought yourself another mount, another steed.
Oh.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it's actually an 80cc Yamaha four-wheeler. And I bought that because I can get lifted onto it and lifted off. And once I'm on, I can ride the damn thing or drive it, or whatever you do with them things. It's quite good. I've got to modify the foot change. And I've already modified the throttle. Instead of using a little thumb lever, I've modified it with a twist grip, proper twist grip, as you may know. And it's good fun. But I used to ride long distance trials for the MCC Limited. There was Fred Boer, Bobby Tariff, myself and a couple of others. One they called the Synthetic Yank. He got a phony American accent. That was his nickname.
Where was he actually from?
He was English.
Oh, he was English. Right.
Yeah, this is in England. You know.
Oh, okay, yeah. He just used to bung it on.
Yeah, oh yeah. And we used to ride, well, Exeter trial, which you'd start on a Saturday night, ride all night long. Early hours of the morning, you'd go off-road and ride a trial section and go through the woods and back on.
So you used to ride all through the night on the roads?
Yeah.
And then do
a trial section.
Okay.
And back onto the road, and then further down you do, I think there's about another 8 sections you'd go off and do. That was the Land's End. There was the Exeter at New Year.
New Year,
yeah, bitter cold.
Did they not think of doing it in summertime?
Oh yeah, but not the Exeter.
Oh, okay.
What happened to those photos?
Well, we'll find them in a sec.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of photos of me on a thing there.
Oh, yeah.
And that was for you do it for the Exeter.
That looks like that's not you, but that's someone riding around on a bit of a...
Now, that's Fred War on his... He used to ride to... Well, where are we? There. He converted to foot change, hand clutch. Oh, and the front wheel was converted, aluminium mud guards fitted.
And that was, you were saying before, you have a hand clutch to make it a bit easier to get your feet on the ground.
That's right.
So you can have a bit of a paddle.
Yeah.
This one's obviously...
Footboards were taken off.
Yeah. That one's obviously the Exeter trial because it says so on the bottom.
Does it say Exeter?
Yeah. And that looks like you, is that you?
That must be right. Yeah, that's me.
So that's obviously one of the off-road sections.
Yep, this is during the day. It was nearly all. And then you get to wherever you were going and then have to ride home the next day.
Land's End, 1958. What amazes me is the number of spectators there.
Oh, it's very popular.
Even when it's freezing.
Yeah. That's a 58 Exeter, no, Land's End.
What about this one? There's a couple of guys getting airborne on Harleys. Would that be in an event or one of your gymkhanas? And
Yeah, that's at a gymkhana. That's my brother-in-law, Con Twist.
ah,
Twist by name and twist by nature. That was at Daisy Meadow in Egham. That was our first gymkhana.
what about this one? I don't know how well that'll come up, but is that all the club riders all gathered for a photo?
Yeah, that's
Is
the
that
first
at an
gymkhana.
event?
Yep.
Ah.
That's at Daisy Meadow again.
What about that one? Looks like they're gathered outside the pub or somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's the sidecar section, early sidecar section, outside the White Lion pub in Egham. I don't know what year it was, but it was,
So in the early days, obviously it was riders that would live sort of close by to where the club started.
oh,
in
mostly
Egham.
it was around the London area,
Yeah.
but there was quite a few up north.
It's obviously grown since then, and
Oh yeah, well it's
all around. Yeah.
well you've only got to look at the representative index and
Yeah. These Exeter and Land End trials, you know, what'd you say? January, freezing cold, black ice, that sort of
yeah.
thing. Any mishaps?
The Land's End. The Land's End was Easter time.
Oh, okay.
And there was another one they used to have, the Edinburgh, but because of petrol rationing, they shortened it to the Derbyshire. And I got a second class award on that,
Ah.
which wasn't hard, which wasn't easy. It was bloody hard.
Second class, that's within a certain percentage of the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The finishers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You had a few injuries over those times, or
No,
you
I
been
never
lucky?
never had any injuries from the bikes.
No.
I had a slip disc that had to get cut out, but it had nothing to do with the bikes.
Right. No.
Your mother won't believe it, but
So tell us a bit more about the family. You had two brothers, Sam and Eric, that were riding, and
yeah,
of
and
course,
the brother-in-law. Well, our Pop rode up until he was 65, and he had cancer of the stomach and chest and whatnot. That stopped him. Otherwise, he'd have still been riding. Sam, his family grew up, and they didn't want to ride in sidecar most of the time, so he bought a car and whatnot eventually. Eric, he had the business to run, and his missus didn't like motorbikes anyway, so yeah, end of story.
Yeah, age-old problem.
Yeah. Con and Rose, they came out to Australia, but that 1929 bike of mine, the J model, I lent it to Con to do something before he came to Australia, and the bugger, he left it at a place called Colnbrook. I've never seen it since.
Why did he leave it there?
Oh, he said something went wrong with it, and I don't know, he might have run out of petrol, I don't know. But I've never seen it since, so if you find a UL 157 anywhere, it's mine.
He just left it there?
Yeah.
Ah.
He told me where it was, but then it was hard to follow. I was in some little roadside service station around near Colnbrook. Well, there's lots of them. And I didn't have time to go and look for it.
So there it stayed?
So there it stayed, yeah.
No doubt someone had seen it there for ages and ages and then thought, that's not going anywhere, I'll have that.
Yeah, probably in Sam and Miller's workshop.